It's your favorite, famous daredevil, Bolt Manglespleen. And it's time for another stunt. But before we do that, let's learn today's power verse. Today's power verse says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. Hot diggity dog! That was a great power verse. But you know what? I'm gonna need some help from my future stunt artists out there. So let's have all the boys stand up and say it with me on the count of 3. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. Great job, boys. You can have a seat. Now I need all the girl daredevils out there to stand up and say the power verse with old Bolt on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. Great job. You can sit down. Now, let's go to the stunt. Hey kids, here we are on location to my next stunt. But before we get to the stunt, I've been thinking about our power verse today and how God has a plan for you and He's got a plan for me, and we can always trust in that plan. Ha! So, on the count of 3, I want everybody to stand up and we're gonna say our power verse together one more time. Here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. Kids, what you're about to see, don't try this at home. I am an untrained professional doing stunts I have no business doing. But today, I'm going to jump over a giant truck. That's right, kids. Today, Bolt is gonna jump from the ground. I'm talking about the earth ground, and I'm gonna leap over that giant truck and then safely, gracefully back on my white boots. Are we ready? Let's go. Woo! Did you see that? Did you see that? Woo! I bet you didn't believe that Bolt could fly, but I just proved it to you all today. Woo! All right, listen, don't miss next week's stunt. It's gonna blow your mind just like this week's stunt. I'll see you guys next week. I must have little ankle thing, but don't you worry about Bolt. I'll be just fine. I'll see you guys all next week.